Hello children, a very warm welcome to the digital class. Children, let us begin our today's session with a question. Children, can you name the planet on which we live? Yes, it's the planet Earth. Children, seeing the picture, can you tell me whether it is a static planet or a moving planet? Yes, it's a moving planet. So children, around what it is moving? It is moving around Sun. So do you find only one planet, children? No. Like our planet Earth, there are many planets and all the planets are revolving around Sun. So these Sun along with the 8 planets is called as solar system. So children, today we are going to learn about solar system, globe, latitudes and longitudes. At the end of this topic, children, you will be able to differentiate between latitudes and longitudes. You will be able to define the solar system. You will be able to name the planets and you will be able to locate the oceans and continents on the world map. As told earlier, children, we all live on the planet and the name of that planet is Earth. But along with this planet Earth, children, there are 8 other planets which are revolving around Sun. And the name of those planets are Mercury, Venus, our own planet Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. Children, I understand that it is little difficult to remember the name of these planets. So I tried to make it little easy. You can remember it with a simple sentence, that is, my very extraordinary mother just served us noodles. All the mothers are extraordinary and I know all of you love noodles. So that's the reason I tried a sentence so that based upon the first letter of this sentence, you can easily remember the names of the planet. So here it goes. My very extraordinary mother just served us noodles. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. And children, all these planets are revolving around Sun. Now children, tell me one thing. With whom do you all live? Yes, we live with our families. And who all are there in your families, children? We have parents, siblings, that is brothers and sisters. Then we have uncles, aunts, cousins, grandparents, isn't it, children? So all together is called as what? We all together are called as family. Similarly, children, Sun is also having a family and the family of the Sun comprises of the planets and all these planets are revolving around Sun. So the family of the Sun along with its 8 planets is called as solar system. Now, did you all understand, children, what is solar system? Yes? Now, let me give you some more information about solar system. Children, and all these planets are revolving around on the elongated paths. Now, let me give you some more information about solar system. The solar system is the gravitationally bound system of the Sun and the objects that orbit it either directly or indirectly. Now, talking about the gravitational bound, children, it means it is having a magnetic pull. Now, you will be wondering, children, isn't it, that Earth is rotating on its own axis and while rotating, it is going around the Sun. But we are not falling down, isn't it? It is because of the gravitational pull. So, the Earth is working like a magnet and we are all fixed to it. But yes, sometimes while playing or while walking, we fall down. But when we fall down, we fall on the planet Earth and not off the planet Earth. Is it clear, children? Now here you can see, children, there are some objects which are revolving directly and there are some objects which are revolving indirectly around the Sun. Now let me tell you about the objects that are revolving directly. The objects that are revolving directly around the Sun are the 8 planets. Yes, that is directly movement. But while talking about the objects that are revolving indirectly is the satellite Moon. Yes, Moon is a natural satellite and Moon is revolving around the planet Earth and planet Earth is revolving around Sun. So, this is also one object which is revolving around Sun, but it is revolving indirectly. Now, talking about this family, children, in our family also we will have an elderly member as the head of the family. So, here children, in the solar system also we have one main member and it is the largest object, and that is the Sun. The Sun is the largest object in the solar system and it sheds most of the heat and light that makes life possible on planet Earth. It is only because of the heat and light which is given up by the Sun we are all able to live on planet Earth. So, this was all about solar system. Now, children, let us learn about the shape of the Earth. Children, can you tell me what is the shape of our planet Earth? Yes, it is ball-like, isn't it? And what is the shape of the ball, children? It is spherical in shape. But how do you know that the Earth is spherical in shape? By seeing the model of the Earth. Now, children, let us learn about the model of the Earth, that is globe. While seeing the globe, children, what is the information that is given by the globe? The first information that is given by the globe is it tells us about the shape of the Earth. Then it tells about the land and the water bodies on the planet Earth. It also tells us about the continents and the oceans that is found on the planet Earth, and it tells us about the latitudes and longitudes. Now, children, I will be explaining each of this in detail. Let us start with the globe. Now, children, do you find the globe in the same size? No. Globes are of a different size and they are of different type. Some are very big ones which cannot be carried from one place to another place, and some are very small pocket globes which can be carried with ease. And nowadays, children, you are finding the globe like balloons. Similarly, we are also finding the globe like an inflated balloons. So, whenever you want to learn, you can fill in the air and you can see the globe, and after using it, you can deflate it, that is, you can remove the air and you can carry it with ease anywhere. And the globe is not fixed. You cannot fix the globe at any place. You can carry it wherever you want to, and it can be rotated the same way as a top spin or the potter's wheel is rotated. It is rotating all the time. Now, children, whenever you see the globe, you will find one needle-like thing, and this needle-like thing is connected from North Pole to South Pole. Now, children, this needle-like thing is called as axis, and because of these axes, you can find the globe on the tilted position and it makes the globe easy to rotate. But in fact, children, there is no such needle that is found in planet Earth. Naturally, this is an imaginary line, children. Axis is an imaginary one. Yes, to make you understand the position of the Earth, that's the reason they have kept the needle. But in fact, there is no such needle that is found in planet Earth. So, this is all about globe, children. Now, after this, children, let us speak about the shape of the globe. When I asked you what is the shape of the globe, you said it is like a ball and it is spherical in shape. But now, I am going to tell you about the actual shape of the Earth. Children, if you will see this figure, you will see that the Earth is not like a perfect sphere and it is not perfectly round. Am I right, children? Now, here if you will see, children, you will find that at the North Pole and at the South Pole, it is slightly flattened. Flattened in sense it is flat, it is straight. And while coming in the middle part, that is near the equator, it is slightly bulged. And this kind of a shape is called as the spheroid shape. Yes, children? So, the actual shape of the Earth is not spherical. It is spheroid in shape. So, children, now you have the globe in your hand and then you have maps and you have atlas. So, you know that how far it is stretched and how do we go. But in the olden days, children, they were not having any such model of the earth. Then how did they come to know that the earth is spherical in shape? In the olden days, the people thought that the planet earth is like a flat land. That is, it is starting from the one place and it is ending at some ending point. The way you see the world map in the atlas, the same way they also thought that the planet earth is a flat land. It is starting from one point and ending at the another point. So to find out from where it is starting and from where it is ending, they have kept one starting point. And from that point, they kept on moving in the same direction, that is on the same line, and they did not turn back. And they kept on moving and ultimately they ended the journey. But at the end of the journey, what did they find? They find that they reached the same place from where they have started. So with this one, with such a long journey which was made by our ancestors, we came to know that the planet Earth is spherical in shape. Children, even you can try this. Yes, take a globe and keep a finger. Don't move the finger and slowly rotate the globe. And you will find that after completing the one rotation, your finger is again pointing at the same point. So this is all about the shape of the earth. Now children, what else do you find on the planet Earth? Yes, we find some oceans and continents. If you will look at the globe, children, you will find most of the globe is blue in color, and there are various other colors which are used, and that is used for the landforms. So now let us learn about the land and the water bodies that is found on the planet Earth. The earth consists of water in the forms of the oceans and seas, and these oceans and seas stretch for hundreds and thousands of kilometers. If you will look at the globe, you will find that most of the globe is blue in color. Nowadays, we have an aeroplane, so it is very easy for you to travel from one continent to another continent in couple of hours. But imagine the times when there were no aeroplanes. Yes, in those days also, children, the people used to travel, and they used to travel through these water bodies in the steamers and boats, and it took months and years together to travel them from one place to another place. Along with these water bodies, children, you will even find some land masses which is shown in different colors. So these large sheets on the globe are called as continents, and on these continents you will find villages, towns, cities, hills and valleys, agriculture, mines, factories, etc. are located on the continents. So children, on the globe and on the planet Earth, we find both the landmass and the oceans. Now when talking about the oceans and continents, let me tell you how many continents and how many oceans are there on our planet Earth. Children, we have total of 7 continents, and the name of those 7 continents are Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Australia, Europe, North America and South America. So children, there are total of 7 continents, and to make it easy, children, I have learnt the names of these continents alphabetical order. First I started with Asia because it is our own continent. If you will learn the name of these continents in an alphabetical order, then it will be easier for you to remember. Now after talking about the continents, let us learn about the water bodies. There are total of 5 oceans, and the names of these 5 oceans also I have taken in alphabetical order so that you as well as me will remember it very easily. So the names of the oceans are Arctic Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean and Southern Ocean. In total, we have 7 continents and 5 oceans, and most of the planet is covered with the water bodies. So based upon this, children, I am going to give you one activity. Please take a world map, and on the world map, you locate the continents and oceans on the world map. And this is very important from the examination point of view as well. You must have observed the 2 poles on the opposite ends of the earth. One is on the north and the another one is on the south. So the pole which is towards the north is called as North Pole and the pole which is towards the south is called as South Pole. The North Pole and South Pole of the earth are covered with ice. Yes children, as I told you, the planet Earth is revolving around sun, but here children, when you see, the sun rays will reach these two poles in a slanting manner. It is not reaching directly, and because of this children, these two poles are having extreme cold climate, and because of this extreme cold climate, you can find that these two poles are covered with ice. Now let me explain you about the North Pole. As shown earlier children, in the North Pole there is one ocean and the name of that ocean is Arctic Ocean. Now you will see children that the other oceans are shown blue in color, whereas the Arctic Ocean is shown white in color. Can you tell me why? Yes, because it is totally converted into the ice and now it is called as a frozen ocean. Frozen in sense totally changed into the ice. It is frozen to the ice, so it is called as a frozen ocean. So this is about the North Pole. Now let us go to the South Pole. Children, tell me which continent did you find in the South Pole? Yes, it was Antarctica. And in Antarctica, which ocean did I tell you? Yes, there was Southern Ocean. But this total continent children along with the Southern Ocean has a huge accumulation of ice, and because of that this is called as Antarctic Shield of Ice. Here also children, the sun rays is reaching slanting. Because of this slanting sun rays and extreme cold climate, the whole continent is converted into the ice, and this huge accumulation of ice is impossible to melt, and that is why it is called as Antarctic Shield of Ice. You must have learnt about the directions in your previous class. So seeing this figure, can you tell me how many directions are there? Yes, there are 4 directions. On the top it is north, on my right it is east, to the bottom it is south, and on my left it is west. If you face the north, the east is on your right and the west is on your left. Now children, you will be wondering, how will you come to know about the north, south, east and west? Am I right? Whenever you go to some place, you will be wondering how will you decide in which direction you are standing. Well, in that case, you have to look after the sunrise. Wherever or in whichever direction the sun is rising, that direction is, yes, you are right, that direction is east. So the opposite of the east will be west, and on your left it is north, and on your right it is south. So seeing the sunrise children, you can easily make out in which direction you are standing. The earth rotates every day from west to east, and if you draw an imaginary line connecting the two poles passing the interior of the earth, it will form the axis or the line around which the earth rotates. Yes children, regarding this axis I told you earlier also. I told you that there is a needle-like thing which keeps the planet Earth on the tilted position, but children, this is an imaginary line. You do not find any such line on planet Earth, and you do not find any such needle kind of thing on planet Earth. So children, this was all about the shape of the Earth and the globe. Only by walking on the sphere will you be able to locate the position of a place? No. Am I right? There should be some point or the line of references that has to be used to locate the place. So apart from these oceans and continents children, what else do you find on the globe? You will find some lines on the globe. Yes, some vertical lines and some horizontal lines you will find on the globe. And what are these lines called as? Yes, these lines are called as latitudes and longitudes. What do they form on the globe children? Yes, they form a grid on the globe. And you will see here children, some lines are running from the North Pole to South Pole, and there are some lines which are running from west to east. And again let me make you clear children, These are also an imaginary lines. You do not find any such lines on planet Earth. Now you will be wondering who made these lines. These are the lines which are made by our map makers. The main purpose of making these lines by our map makers is to make it easier for us to locate the place on a globe or a map. And the concept of these latitudes and longitudes along with the poles were very well known to our Indian ancestors like Aryabhatta. Yes, Aryabhatta is the same person who invented zero. He was a very great mathematician and astrologer, children. He was having a lot of interest in astronomy and he gave many facts related to the universe. It was he only who said that sun is not rising and setting. It is the planet Earth which is revolving around sun. And that theory is called as heliocentric, and again he gave one more theory called as geocentric theory, and according to that the earth is rotating on its own axis. Now regarding these theories, that is heliocentric and geocentric theories, you will be learning in your higher classes. Now let me explain you about each of these lines in details. I will begin with latitudes. Latitudes are the imaginary lines that are drawn from west to east, and the longest of these lines is the equator. Yes children, the line which is passing through the middle of the earth is called as an equator, and this equator is dividing our planet into two halves, and each half is called as hemisphere. Now you will be wondering, what is this hemisphere? Am I right? Half of the sphere is called as hemisphere. Half which is on the north side is called as northern hemisphere, and the half which is on the southern side of the equator is called as the southern hemisphere. This is northern hemisphere and this is southern hemisphere. And these lines are not equal in length. You will be wondering, why are they not equal in length? As told earlier children, planet Earth is spheroid in shape. That means it is slightly flattened towards the poles. So here the lines will be little smaller, and as and how it is starting from the north pole and coming in between, that is near the equator, the size of the lines are increasing. So here the length of the line is small, and as and how you are moving towards equator, the length of the lines are increasing. Again, while moving towards south, again it is decreasing. So all these lines are not of the equal length. All the parallel circles from the equator up to the poles are called as the parallels of latitudes. Yes children, though these lines are not of the equal length, they are running parallelly. So these are called as parallels of latitudes. And latitudes are measured in degrees. The equator represents the 0 degree latitude, that is the starting point which is in the between, is called as a 0 degree latitude. And since the distance from the equator to the either of the poles is 1/4 of a circle round the earth, it will measure 1/4 of the 360 degrees, that is 90 degrees. 90 degrees north latitude marks the north pole and 90 degrees south latitude marks the south pole. And as such, all the parallels to the north of the equator are called as the north latitudes. Yes, the latitudes which are running towards the north are called as north, and the latitudes which are towards the south are called as south latitudes. The value of each latitude is therefore followed by either the word north and the south. See children, you will see 20 degrees here also and 20 degrees here as well. Then you will be wondering, how will we able to know which 20 degrees we are talking about? Whenever each latitude is mentioned children, they will be using the letter N or S. N represents north and S represents south. Now let me tell you about some important parallels of latitudes. You all know about the equator children, that is 0 degree latitude. Above 0 degree, when you go towards the north children, you will find Tropic of Cancer at 23.5 degree northern hemisphere. As in how you move towards north, at 23.5 degree, you will find Tropic of Cancer. Similarly, when you will go 23.5 degrees towards south, you will find Tropic of Capricorn. Now this whole belt children is called as a tropical belt, and it will be very hot. Why? Because it will be receiving direct sun rays. Now going further from the Tropic of Cancer, you will reach Arctic Circle at 66.5 degrees north. Similarly, when you go towards south at 66.5 degree, you will find Antarctic Circle. And what is written here, children? It is written as frigid zone. Frigid in sense it is frozen. It is frozen to ice. So children, this is all about latitudes. Now based upon this, here comes your activity. Please note down the questions. You have to identify the equator on the globe and note down the continents it passes through. You have to identify the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere on globe, and you have to find out in which hemisphere is India located. Then you have to find out which hemisphere has more water. That is, either it is the northern or the southern hemisphere which is having the more water. This was all about latitudes, children. Now let us discuss about longitudes in detail. Now children, by knowing only the latitudes, children, it is not possible for us to know the position of a place, because even we have to know how far it is from east to west. And for that reason, the map makers have drawn another imaginary lines from North Pole to South Pole, and those are called as longitudes. These are the imaginary lines which will run from the North Pole to South Pole, and these latitudes are of the same length. Latitudes are not of the same length, children, but longitudes are of the same length, because it is going from North Pole to South Pole and there is no change in the shape, so they are all of the same length. And the distance between them are also measured in degrees. Latitudes were also measured in degrees, longitudes are also measured in degrees, but further they are measured in minutes and minutes into seconds. These are the semicircles, and the distance between them decreases as and how they go towards the pole. Here children, you can see very easily, though they are running parallel, children, but when they are reaching the North Pole, you will find that they have come very closer. Almost they have meet at the North Pole, and similarly towards the South Pole also they will meet. So children, as all the longitudes are running in the same way, it was very difficult to find out which one has to be taken as the main important longitude. So they have decided that the count should begin from the meridian which passes through the Greenwich, and this Greenwich meridian is called as a prime meridian, that is 0 degree longitude, and from here all the other longitudes were calculated. The value of the prime meridian is 0 degree and it is going 180 degrees eastwards and 180 degrees westwards. The prime meridian and the 180 degrees meridian divide the earth into two equal hemispheres, that is eastern hemisphere and western hemisphere. Equator is dividing into northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, and the prime meridian is dividing our planet earth into eastern hemisphere and western hemisphere. The longitude of a place is followed by the letter E for the east and letter W for the west, and both the meridians are on the same line. And children, talking about the two important longitudes, that is the Greenwich line, which is also called as the 0 degree longitude, and the international date line, which is 180 degrees east or west longitude. So children, this is all about longitudes. Now let me tell you the differences between the latitudes and longitudes. Latitudes are drawn from west to east and longitudes are drawn from North Pole to South Pole. The longest latitude is called the equator and the main meridian is called as the prime meridian. All the parallel circles of the equator up to the poles are called as the parallels of latitudes, and the lines running from the North Pole to South Pole are called as the meridians of longitude. Latitudes are measured in degrees. Longitudes are also measured in degrees, but they are further divided into minutes and minutes into seconds. Latitudes are not equal in length, whereas longitudes are equal in length. And important parallels of latitudes are equator, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle. And the important longitudes are the Greenwich line and the international date line. So children, these two lines together are forming a net, and because of these net, it will be very easy for us to locate the places. If you know the latitude and longitude of a place, you can easily locate it on the globe or a map. Now based upon this, children, here comes your activity. Take a globe and locate some places on the globe and ask your friends to find its latitude and longitude. For example, ask them to locate New Delhi on a globe or a map and tell them to write down the latitudes and longitudes. Vice versa, give them the latitude and longitude and ask them to find out which place is located on it. So here children, example, name the place that is located on 26° north latitude and 90 degrees east longitude. So children, I hope the topic is clear to you. Let us have a quick recapitulation of what all we learned today. We learnt about solar system, then we learnt about the shape of the earth, that is globe, latitude, longitudes, grid and the uses of grid. Now based upon our today's session, here comes your assignment. Here are some of the questions for you. Please note down in your notebook. Differentiate between latitudes and longitudes. Write about solar system. Name the planet and locate the oceans and continents on the world map. Along with these questions children, please try to solve the worksheets which are published by SIET, and you can procure these worksheets from the official website of the SIET. So with this children, I end my session. I hope the topic is very clear to you. With this, I take your leave. Keep learning. Thank you.